Gentlemen, welcome back. I hope that you guys entering week 3 of your badass blueprint are sticking to your schedule and moving forward. If any of you are having trouble with it, email me at coachchrisryan@gmail.com and we'll get you back on track. No coaching session, no charge. Just a quick readjustment is all you're going to need to get unstuck. I also love getting feedback, hearing how you guys are doing in your badass journeys. So feel free to reach out anytime and give me 24 hours to respond. Right now, life is a little crazy here at home. We are making some big moves and it is sucking up a lot of my time. I'm probably not even going to have any time for myself for a while, but that's what it takes sometimes when you're building a badass life. And of course, I'm happy to sacrifice that in order to give you guys the best content I can. So let's get into it. Today's episode is for those of you ready to tune up how you are going to show up in your next relationship so that when you're ready for one, you'll be way happier and at peace than you were in relationships prior. This is, yes, going to be another 2-part series. Today is part 1 on 5 ways to ruin your next relationship. Today we're talking 3 of those ways. Next week is going to be a little more juicy. We'll hit the last 2 ways and then we're going to go into what sort of behavior to avoid when you're dating your next chick, so that you don't find yourself in a shit relationship, even if you're not doing the 5 on this list. I'm stoked to get into it and help you guys upgrade your standards both for yourself and your next chick. All right, for today, 3 ways to screw up your next relationship and why these things are detrimental to the masculine and feminine dynamic. Here's number 1. If you want to mess up your next relationship, stop dating her once you become exclusive. Guys and girls are different in how they see dating. For us guys, we see a relationship progression as linear. We meet her, go on a few dates, become exclusive, then put a ring on her finger. Most of us see the dating process, like going out on dates, as the only romantic stuff we have to do in order to woo her into liking us. Then once we're exclusive, we think, all right, I got her. Goal achieved. No more dates needed. She's not going anywhere. And we also think this because we see the dating stage as a way to get her emotionally engaged and get to know her. And that need goes away once she is locked in. And yeah, we'll do dates on the typical annual events like anniversary, her birthday, Valentine's Day. But for most of us, that's basically all we do. Now let's look at this from the feminine's perspective. While we see this process linearly, she sees the dating process as all-encompassing. What that means is that she wants to feel those same feelings she did when you first started dating all throughout the relationship. But wait a minute, does that mean we have to continue spending money on fancy dinners, flowers, wine, all throughout the relationship, like every single weekend? Also, what about me as her man? Am I not good enough just by myself, working overtime, providing and protecting, sacrificing for her and the family? 2 truths emerge here. Number 1, yes, you are always enough for her or any woman you date. Yes, for you guys and girls listening, you are enough for your partners simply because you chose them and you chose to give them all of yourself. So there's that. You are always enough. Second, no, you don't have to go on dates every single weekend and spend boatloads of money just to keep her interested. Let's dive into more of her perspective and then I'll lay out the solution, which is a lot easier than you think. Most likely, one of the reasons that she fell in love with you is because you put in the effort to take her on nice dates and you guys had a great time. You guys laughed, flirted, but most importantly, you engaged her romantic emotions. She felt sexy, happy, warm and fuzzies, excited, etc. Women love going on dates. They love spending that quality time with their man and eating delicious food. They love taking 2 hours to get ready, get all shaved and sexy with their hair and makeup, and they love the anticipation of it too. And of course they love the sexy time afterwards. Notice what word I use to describe how she feels before, during, and after the date. L-O-V-E, love. She loves all those parts of the date. While you're working and going through your day, sure, you're looking forward to it, but she is way more emotionally invested, going all the way back to you making the initial plans for the date. Now think of what would happen if you pumped her full of those romantic emotions once or twice a month. Men and women have emotional gas tanks, for lack of a better metaphor. The car needs gas to run. Both you and her need the other to put gas in each other's love tank for the relationship to stay healthy and strong. One of the ways to keep gas in her tank is to go on dates at least once a month or every 6 weeks if you guys are super busy. Because think of it, how can she keep doing all those awesome things for you, like be the feminine, beautiful woman you fell in love with, if you're not putting gas in that tank? Not going on dates is a fantastic way to turn the relationship stagnant and have the car just sputter and die. And with most things, if something is stagnant or not improving, it is falling behind. Here is the solution. Plan dates once a month or at least every 6 weeks. It doesn't even have to be super fancy. You can even plan a coffee date that only lasts like an hour. Now, let's say you're super broke and or you don't have the time to go out. Make a simple dinner, set up the kitchen or dining table with, dollar store candles and a $5 bottle of wine. Yeah, it's not technically a full-on date out somewhere, but she'll still feel those same emotions. Happy, sexy, loved, and special because you got creative. And despite not having money or time, you still put effort into a cozy, romantic evening. That right there signals to her that you love her and still want to woo her. And it doesn't have to be dinner. If you guys like to go on hikes, plan a hiking date. If you like to watch movies, plan a movie date night. I think you get the point. It's the whole concept of planning a fun activity. It's called date night for a reason. Not 5-star dinner with a $200 entree night. The term date night is super flexible. Set date nights, fancy or broke style, whatever makes sense for you and your time and your money situation. Guys, women want to feel wanted, and not just in the sexual sense. Romance is dates. Sex is the bonus. Here's the secret. Throw in surprise date nights every once in a while. Tell her, hey babe, surprise date night this Saturday. Wear this and this and be ready by this time. Now be warned, she's going to try to get you to reveal the secret. Do not give in. Hold your ground. Mystery, anticipation, you in the lead planning the romance. That is going to drive her crazy. And if she's been cold or distant lately, watch her mood and energy change once she starts anticipating the date or event or whatever surprise thing you're planning. So that's number 1. Stop dating her if you want your next relationship to turn dull. It will make her feel unwanted, unloved, and more like a roommate than your girlfriend or wife. All right, number 2, next thing you should do if you want to screw things up is stop flirting with her and make sure there is no laughter, no playfulness, and that everything is serious and boring. In the beginning, things are exciting. She's drawn to you for how you make her feel, and a big part of that is from your flirting and being playful. Here's the thing though, you're super attracted to her, and all those feelings give you the motivation to put on your James Bond and flirt with her and make her blush and get all tingly inside. But we can reverse engineer this as we can with basically anything in relationship dynamics. Instead of flirting in response to you getting those warm and fuzzy feelings, you can flirt anytime in the relationship to cultivate those same feelings. In fact, you should, on the regular. A few random times throughout the day is all you need. And not just when you want a bone. Remember, she sees attraction as all-encompassing whether you're on the first date or have been together for 30 years. Keep her attraction high with flirting. If you flirt with her often, make her laugh at random times throughout the day, and plan surprise dates and adventures, the chances of her getting bored will be significantly reduced. A lot of women who initiate divorce say it's because the relationship got dull. Conversely, a good chunk of guys will divorce because she stopped wanting sex, she stopped being the sexy feminine woman they fell in love with, and now he feels rejected and dejected. The romance is a really easy thing to let slip, and it happens a lot. Men and women are both guilty of this. You have to keep things fun and exciting throughout the relationship, even if it's a little flirting, laughing, and going on dates once a month or every 6 weeks. And yes, it is our duty as the man in her life to plan these dates and set that flirty, light-hearted, playful mood in the house and anywhere else you see fit. It's not her job to plan dates and set the tone of the relationship with fun, playful, flirtatious energy, and it is not her job to give you sex if you're not putting in the effort to keep her emotions engaged. Yes, things slow down a bit once you get out of the honeymoon phase. You both get busy, maybe start a family, and time just goes out the window. This is why doing the dates every month or 6 weeks and keeping things fun with a little flirting and laughter consistently is considered relationship maintenance. And I know you repair technicians out there are going to agree with me when I say that regular maintenance is always easier, cheaper, and better than the cure. Now, you don't have to be flirty and playful all the time, obviously. There are times to lock in and do chores or do parenting and bills and boring shit, etc. The cool part with flirting is that you can just sprinkle it in here and there. Here's a secret. You should throw in compliments as well. If she walks by wearing something nice, say something like, "Wow, you look super cute. I love that dress." Would be cuter if it was on the floor, but I'm busy right now. Sorry, maybe later. Another one you can do is randomly grab her and kiss her or give her a big hug. Tell her that she's doing a great job at work or with the kids, something that validates her. Either way, you'll know what buttons she likes pushed once you get to know her after dating for a few months. And with your finely tuned radar we're going to be working on in future episodes, you'll learn how to read her nonverbals and push the exact button that will make her feel better, put her in a better mood, and or turn her on. Flirting, guys. It's fun, it's free, and it takes as little as 3 seconds. Don't do it at all if you want her to lose attraction for you. All right, moving on. The third way to screw up your next relationship is to expect her to make the relationship decisions. But wait, what is a relationship decision? A relationship decision is one that involves the both of you. And I know some of these examples are going to start to ring bells. Ready? What to eat for dinner, where to go away for the weekend, who drives the car, what to do next, what to do wherever or whenever. This is anything that has to do with the two of you alone. Check it out. When you go to work, you decide what you want to eat for lunch. That is a you decision. Same goes for her. When she eats lunch at work or at home or whatever place she's away from you, that is a her decision. Those are individual decisions. Mutual relationship decisions involve the both of you together and they default to you. This means when it comes time to make a decision that involves the both of you, you make that decision. Now, there is an appropriate way to do this, and we're going to go into that here in a bit. Asking your woman to make a decision or even asking her preference is a really quick way to start an argument and put her in a bad mood. And this is a huge mistake that I used to make, and it actually ruined a lot of really great dating opportunities when I was younger, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I don't care if it's the first time you meet her or you've been together for 50 years. The masculine leads and the feminine follows. The feminine does not want to make the relationship decisions. She wants to relax into your lead and follow your direction. Making decisions is not feminine. When she's at work or taking care of the kids while you're away, she's making tons of decisions for herself, her colleagues, her team, the kids, etc. She's cultivating masculine energy when she's doing that. When you come home, she doesn't want to keep that masculine energy going. She wants to slip back into her feminine energy and relax. Feminine energy relaxes when she doesn't have to bear the responsibility of making decisions with her man, who she wants to see as the masculine. She does not want to be in charge when she is with you. All right, so what's the right way to do this? It's really simple. Let's say it's time to pick a place to eat. Instead of you asking a question like, "Hey babe, what do you want to eat?" Make a suggestive statement. A really great way to do this is to start with either "we should" or "let's." Think of a place that you would both like to eat and then suggest it. "Hey babe, we should get pizza." Or "Hey, let's have pizza tonight." This easy method does two things very well. One, it puts you in the lead as the masculine, which the feminine loves. Two, it leaves room for her to counter your suggestion if she doesn't like it. If she counters and says something like, "I'm not in the mood for pizza," you just rinse and repeat. Think of something else. "Oh, okay, we should try that new burger place." See what she says and go from there. Now, in the case that she rejects all of your suggestions one after the other, that's when you say, "All right, well, I'm all out of ideas, you pick." Most likely, she's just going to revert back to one of your suggestions and say something like, "You know what? Pizza actually does sound good." Now, important note here. Taking the lead does not mean you demand, coerce, or order her to do something. That is domineering, and that is not badass. That is weak. Dominant, on the other hand, is what we're going for. Dominant is perhaps the most important masculine quality you can have. Masculinity leads. Because think of it. If you say some shit like, we're going to eat pizza tonight, you're not really leaving her much of a choice. She is not your slave. She is her own person who is capable of making her own decisions, but you guys are a team. Teammates work together to figure out the best play. You are the captain of that team. You choose the direction that the team goes. So guys, this doesn't really seem like a big deal to us because dudes think, why is this so difficult? It's just dinner. Why can't she just pick something? And it's not that she's being lazy or she just doesn't know what she wants. It's that she doesn't want to pick. She wants her man to pick. She wants you to be in the lead and take charge, even if it's something super simple like food. Another secret for you, this also ties into our biological programming that goes back centuries. Back in the day, if you couldn't make a simple decision for the two of you, like who gets to gut the lion that you just killed or something, how could she trust you to make a bigger decision when the two of you are faced with imminent danger? Now, obviously nowadays there are no crazy threats like that, but the same programming still runs. The feminine is attracted to a man who can protect her, and if he can't make simple decisions for the two of them, she will lose attraction or get moody or start a fight, etc. So that's number 3. If you want to ruin your next relationship, ask her to make the relationship decisions. Again, the feminine wants you to pick, but that doesn't mean she's lazy or being immature or difficult, anything like that. She wants you to lead. But if you aren't, she may not know how to communicate that to you. Why? Like I've said before in this podcast, a lot of men and women don't know how to communicate properly in a relationship. There are differences in the way guys and gals communicate, both verbally and non-verbally. And part of what I do here is teach how us guys can communicate better and embrace the masculine dynamic in our relationships, and there is always room to learn. Because for some reason, our society has just given up in most circumstances, and they just default to, oh, that's just how women are, that's just how men are, relationships are complicated, yada yada. And you wonder why our divorce rates here in the West are so high. We are different, however. Badasses don't operate on fixed mindsets like that. We break open the box and at least try to find a solution outside of it. So to hell with societal expectations and what others say is possible or not in terms of relationships or anything. Relationships are not a huge mystery, but the first step in figuring them out is rejecting fixed mindsets that have been programmed into us by our environment. The masculine and feminine are a dynamic. The more masculine you are, the more feminine she will be, and vice versa. Doing dates periodically, flirting, and making their relationship decisions are 3 super easy ways to keep her emotions engaged forever. And it may seem like a lot, but once you start doing it, it'll be like unlocking a hidden trait you had all along, and it will quickly become second nature. All right, boys, that wraps it up for today's part 1 of how to ruin your next relationship. Stay tuned for next week where we unpack 4 and 5 and talk about what to do if she is not responding well to these things. We're also going to cover how to implement this in the dating stage so you don't get married to a low-quality woman. Oh boy, next week is going to be juicy. And guys, thank you for being patient with me with these shorter 2-part episodes. I put a lot of time into this podcast. I do all the writing, recording, editing, everything on my own. I do not use AI except for research, but then I still go and check the sources myself to give you guys the most accurate info I can. Like I said, my family is in a huge transition period right now. I'm going to be stretched thin for a while, but I'm always fired up when I see that you guys are still listening. I'm guessing in a few weeks we'll be over 1,000 all-time downloads, so thank you guys for your time. I hope all of you are making badass moves. And again, if you're ever stuck implementing the strategies or mindsets as outlined in this podcast, or you just have feedback or suggestions, reach out to me at coachchrisryan@gmail.com. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next week. Peace out. Thank you for joining me in another badass episode, brother. If you want to accelerate into this new chapter in your life and get a boost into your badass journey, sign up for a free 45-minute consultation for post, breakup, or divorce coaching. All the info is in the episode description. Also, please remember to like and comment, and if you know anyone who could use this info in their badass journey, please share this episode with them. None of this will be possible without you guys, so thank you again, and I will see you in the next episode.